Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I hope you are doing very well. I am, as usual. I don't usually let things bother me. I try to keep it good. So there's that. But I was kind of, I've been reading, which I'm always reading something, but in the Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, and it's a concept that a lot of people are familiar with. A lot of people in who are interested in nature of consciousness or the nature of reality and the science of consciousness and things like that are kind of leaning towards with the whole the universe is holographic. But also, we kind of, with regards to what we kind of learned in the Kybalion, is that all is mind, that the universe is mental, meaning that the universe exists in the mind of the creator or the all, as it says in the Kybalion. You can say God, you can say, whatever. But one thing that we've kind of learned is that the universe is not the creator itself. Because I've often, early on, I looked at that. There's the map of the universe. It's the radiation map. They say it's the radiation that's left over from the Big Bang. And when you look at that, it looks like a neural network of a brain. So that would that kind of led me to believe at the time that the universe is just a brain. And that is a pretty good way of looking at things. But then we kind of learn that, well, in order for something to be created, it can't be the creation. So whatever created this is outside of it. So anyway, that's just kind of a statement of that. But then when we're talking, but that kind of leads into what I'm going for with the whole thing with the holographic universe, the book. Anyway, so there's that, and I'm reading that, so I don't have a whole lot. I'm just kind of gotten started with it, so don't hold me on that too much. But it's really talking about how everything is connected, and there's so many examples of that. For example, with quantum entanglement. It's what Albert Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance. Now, he said that he kind of Albert Einstein rejected quantum entanglement. He acknowledged it, I suppose, and all that, but he rejected it only because it could not be explained. He didn't like the fact that two particles separated by whatever distance, it doesn't matter. They could literally be on opposite ends of the universe. If they are quantumly entangled, what happens to one happens to the other instantly. It's an instant communication between the two. Now that is what he called spooky action at a distance. And the reason why he kind of rejected that is because it's like, well, communication can't be faster than the speed of light. In that world, in the world of science and physics, there is no such thing as anything faster than light. Now, on the metaphysical side of things, we do believe that there is things faster than light. It is thought, and or just mind, for that matter. And like I opened with the Kybalion, saying that the universe is mind, or it exists in the mind of the all. It is a creation inside its mind. And that would lead us to believe that nothing is real. But again, the Kybalion also warns us against that. It's like, it calls it being half wise. Because it's like, yeah, we understand that everything is mental, that really what we consider to be real, there is nothing that truly is real. However, in this lifetime, while we are in this physical 3D incarnation, even though when we know that there's nothing is real, we still have to, it is in this lifetime. We still have to pretend like it is, I guess, or treat it as if it is. And not in a demeaning kind of way. I mean, we really have to take it seriously that yes, you are in physical form right now, and yes, you do, and all the laws of nature and of the universe, for that matter, apply to you. So you can't, in other words, you can't be of the mindset of, well, doesn't matter, none of this is real anyway, so I'll just jump off this cliff because there's no such thing as gravity. Well, there is right now. Okay. So, and I mean, I joke about things sometimes, like with some friends or whatever. We'll be talking about something. I'm like, it doesn't matter. None of this is real anyway. Okay. Yeah. But nonetheless, we still have to take things very seriously. Another example of how everything is connected is there was an experiment, and I wish I had done a little more research. I'm sorry, but there was an experiment that was done with random number generators, and I believe the random number generators were in New York State, and they had people from randomly, I guess, around the world who were focused on that random number generator, and they would focus on the number 4 or whatever, pick a number, and that random number generator became not so random. So their thoughts, these people, random people, or spread out wherever, were able to influence that random number generator and make it not so random. It began producing the number 4 in that case more often than anything else. So it wasn't so random anymore. It's supposed to have been just completely random. And when there's no one influencing it consciously with the power of their mind, with their consciousness, influencing the field, causing those computers to generate a particular number more often than it should if it were truly random. That's interesting. And this is just another example of how everything is connected. My glasses are connected to my face. So there's that. But anyway, like I said, I'm looking at my notes, and I'm about to read from the book for just a second. I mean, like two sentences. So bear with me. But there's quantum entanglement, but the Kabbalion does warn about being half wise. If we understand this concept, if we understand this, that's fine. However, don't let that make you what you would call jaded, or get of the mindset of, well, none of this is real, so screw it. No, you're definitely here to learn. You're definitely here for a reason. So don't poo-poo everything just because you know this. Anyway, so then some people are like, well, what's the point in knowing it? Well, that's another thing in itself. Okay, in the book, in Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot says, Bohm, and a scientist he was referring to, believes the reason subatomic particles are able to remain in contact with one another regardless of the distance separating them is not because they are sending some sort of mysterious signal back and forth, but because their separateness is an illusion. He argues that at some deeper level of reality, such particles are not individual entities, but are actually extensions of the same fundamental something. What that means to us is, dear loved one, and I know it's like, what'd you get all sciencey for, Matt? Well, it's like a hologram, and listen, this was very hard for me to learn because I am more of a spiritual guy. But I also understand that when you can explain the spiritual, when you can explain metaphysical phenomena or whatever scientifically, it reinforces, and also it helps to build a belief in your physical self. So I feel like it's important to do those things. That's why I recommended reading Stalking the Wild Pendulum by Itzhak Bentov. Even though it's a very hard book for those of us who are more on the spiritual side, much more, than people who are on the scientific side, right? But what that means to us is that if you Okay, a hologram. If you were to take a very small little piece of glass, let's say, and you had laser etched into it a map of the entire universe, and then you were to shine a light through it onto this huge whatever board, and it projected this humongous map from this tiny little piece of glass. That is what would be considered a holographic universe. So while everything is right here, when we're out in it, it appears as though it's not. It appears as though there is vast distances, when in fact there's not. It's just the illusion of the hologram. So anyway, loved ones, that's just something for you to think about. And it's like, why? What's the purpose, Matt? If we can't really, if we're not supposed to come to the conclusion that then none of this matters then. What's the purpose? What is the purpose of even having an understanding of this? Well, I say let it spark your sense of wonder. Let it in your realization of how miraculously powerful and just amazing reality or creation or whatever it really is. It's unbelievable. But yet here we are. I was about to say unbelievable, but it is unbelievable. It's rather hard to believe. But nonetheless, here we are. So, dear loved one, just allow it to spark your sense of wonder. And also allow it to maybe realize that, wow, I am a divine spark of something amazing. I am something rather amazing myself. Just because you exist alone is amazing. So, there you go. If nothing else, if there's no other reason, but I'm like, what more reason would you need? But if someone wants to kind of hold my feet to the fire a little bit or whatever and be like, yeah, well, Matt, what's the point? Why do I care? There you go. And maybe you don't. But to me, and I got to believe that anybody who's watched this far is probably like me, and they think, wow, that is, because all of those things are amazing. The random number generator example, and as well as, oh, good God, what's the other one? Quantum entanglement. That's amazing. How you can have two particles that are separated by billions of light years communicating instantly. And yes, that has been proven. I guess it's like, well, how do I know the proof is real? Listen, I don't know what to tell you on that. That's just something you're either going to take it or you're not. But there you go. So anyway, loved ones, the lovely Kitty and I will have our podcast episode out. I had to look at the date. Sunday, October 27th. I don't know, sometime in the evening. I usually get them finished up editing and all that good stuff and put out. So that'll be good. And we're going to get that. Well, I'll have that finished and out on, unless something crazy happens, which does happen. But anyway, there's that. So if you would, loved ones, please like this video, subscribe, share it with someone, do whatever. Because, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, the audio podcast that I'm referring to with Kitty, that's not a video. That's just an audio podcast. Of course, it is on YouTube, though, but it's on anywhere you get your audio podcasts. For example, I usually listen to them. Well, anyway, it's not what's important. Anyway, loved ones, I love you, and I'll be back directly.